I spent a long time thinking about that, and it was a very prominent thing because I had just kind of managed to get the Tibetan cultural ways and behaved like a good Tibetan nun. And then I went to Taiwan, and then instead of sitting down for 14 hours doing puja, you had to stand up. They stand up. My legs swelled, Instead of no sleeves, they wear so many layers of clothes because I had to wear Chinese clothes. And then the chanting wasn't in Tibetan, it was in Chinese. And the ceremonies, there's some similarities, but they're also different. So I spent a lot of time when I was there thinking, what's the Dharma and what is culture? And where do I stand in the middle of it? Because I was kind of becoming Tibetan, now I'm becoming Chinese, and what's the real Dharma? So that was actually extremely beneficial because it helped me to see much more clearly what the real Dharma is. And the organizational structure of a monastery is not the real Dharma. It's conventional culture. And what language you do your practices in, there's nothing. Some Tibetans would disagree with me, but Buddha didn't speak Tibetan. I don't speak Tibetan. I should do my practices in a language I understand. And that's what His Holiness Dalai Lama says. So I wanted to do these kinds of things which I wouldn't have the freedom to do. I also felt very strongly about gender equality. And Tibetan Dharma centers do not have gender equality because Tibetan culture doesn't have gender equality. And I feel very strongly, if I wanted to do things in the traditional Tibetan way, I would have gone to one of the things that was already set up. There was no need to start anything new. It would have been better to give my support and my energy to something that was already set up. But I had realized after living in Asia so long, when I came back to the US, that I had lost all my self-confidence. Not all of it, but a good chunk of my self-confidence. And it wasn't so much because people were saying women are inferior. It was the whole way, just the culture, the whole way you were treated. What was expected of you. And Injis don't know the real Dharma because you aren't Tibetan. You're a woman, So just, not even anybody saying anything, but just the way you were treated. And when I came back in 1989 to do that teaching tour, I was like, wow, I didn't fit here anymore.